Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon to all of you joining us from very different parts of the globe today for this called Find Your Host Institution in Europe, MSCA Postdoctoral Fellowships 2025 webinar. It's great to see the high interest from the research community. We had over 400 registrations for this afternoon session for us speakers here in Europe, but we also had a webinar in the morning where we had also a very high number of registrations. So we are really grateful for that. To begin with, I would like to, first of all, introduce you to the hosts for today, the people who together with me will moderate the session and will give the floor to the different host institutions that will present the hosting offers to you. I'm very happy to have here with me today my EURAXESS Worldwide colleague, Ahmed Malel and Charlotte Gradrich, both from Africa and the Latin America and Caribbean region. Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you, Charlotte, for being with me today. Together, we will try to stick to time with a very intense schedule with 12 countries participating from Europe. My name is Cristina Gomez, and I am the EURAXESS Worldwide coordinator. I would like to mention that this webinar is done in collaboration with the Marie Skłodowska-Curie Action National Contact Points. So a big thank you to all of them. You will meet some of them today, actually, in this webinar. And a big thank you also to these over 50 institutions who are presenting the different offers today to all of you. So with no further delay, let's start. So to explain what we are doing here with you today, EURAXESS Worldwide, what we are, who we are, I first need to explain EURAXESS. EURAXESS is actually a European Commission initiative that supports the mobility and the career development of researchers. It's composed by 43 countries in and around Europe, and it provides a wide range of information and services for researchers who are looking to advance their careers in Europe or collaborate internationally. Possibly, I guess, its more well-known tool or instruments is the EURAXESS Jobs Portal, where researchers like you can find thousands of job vacancies, fellowships, funding offers across Europe. You will see later, actually, that some of the countries will refer to the MSCA hosting offers that are available in the portal for this MSCA Postdoctoral Fellowship call. EURAXESS is now part of what it's called the ERA Talent Platform, the European Research Area Talent Platform, that is a centralized online gateway launched by the European Commission to support researchers and also research performing organizations across Europe. It includes very streamlined resources and services, including, for instance, Research and Innovation Careers Observatory, an innovation platform, a pan-European occupational pension solutions, and also, of course, EURAXESS. EURAXESS Worldwide, and you can see on the screen that we are there on the website on the right-hand side of the screen, it's the international arm of EURAXESS. It's a network and support service provided by the European Commission to connect researchers globally with Europe. It is designed for researchers outside of Europe who are interested in pursuing their research careers or collaborate with European institutions. EURAXESS Worldwide and my colleagues here, that I will shortly introduce you to, provide information about European research, career development, international cooperation, and networking opportunities. There are 9 different hubs that operate in key global regions for the European Union. And those include ASEAN, Latin America, and the Caribbean, China, India, North America, covering also Canada, Japan, South Korea, and Australia, and New Zealand. And you can see the names and the contact details of my fantastic colleagues. 2 of them, Ahmed and Charlotte, are here with me today. So, as you can see, EURAXESS Worldwide promotes European possibilities, European mobility, European funding, Horizon Europe program, and therefore the Marie Skłodowska-Curie actions. This is why we are here today, to show you the different possibilities that the MSCA offer, specifically a big number of institutions who are willing to host you with this program. Now, very briefly, let's remember what is MSCA about. MSCA is the MSCA, and concretely the Postdoctoral Fellowship. They're a very prestigious funding scheme of the European Commission, and they aim at enhance the creative and innovative potential of postdoctoral researchers through advanced training and international mobility. They are funded under the Horizon Europe program and with an indicative budget of around 400 millions. The call is already open. It opened at the beginning of May and will close next 10th of September. MSCA is a global program that supports career development by providing international, intersectoral, and interdisciplinary mobility. It is a program that fosters scientific excellence in all fields of science, and it uses a bottom-up approach. That means that the researchers, together with the institution, will identify the type of project they want to have funded in specific areas, be it chemistry, mathematics, life science, and so on. During the execution of the project, the researchers will be able to gain new scientific skills, but they will also be provided with training on transferable skills, and these will be very impactful for their research careers. But these will also have an impact at the institutional level where the project takes place. It will really enhance its human resources internal strategies, and of course a system level by advancing the research outputs in the specific R&I field that are financed. How does this work, and how can you apply as a researcher outside in the world to MSCA? And actually focusing on the European Fellowship, which is the funding scheme that we're talking about today. You, as a researcher, you need to find a host institution in Europe who will be the beneficiary of the project. At that institution, a supervisor will guide you and mentor you during the full duration of your time there. You might find somebody here that can be your supervisor during this webinar. We have 12 countries today in this webinar, and some of them are considered as widening countries. We refer to specific EU member states or associated countries that are not performing that well in R&I and innovation funding. And that will offer throughout another part of the program a second chance in case your project is not funded via the MSCA funded. But you will hear about the EURAXESS fellowships later on also during the webinar. Finally, also note that apart from the 8 scientific panels that we've mentioned and the scientific fields, it's also possible to fund the nuclear research under the MSCA Postdoctoral Fellowships with some specific restrictions. So very quickly, and just as a reminder, to apply for a European fellowship, what you need to know is that it is open to all nationalities. Therefore, there are no restrictions for anybody who is looking at this webinar. You should comply with the mobility rule, meaning if you want to carry out, for instance, a project in Spain, you can not have lived in Spain more than a year in the 3 years prior to the call deadline, which is the 10th of September 2028. This is open for researchers who already have their PhD and not more than 8 years of research experience, with some exceptions that we are not going to expand on today. The project will take place in Europe, and it will vary from 1 to 2 years. It can also be expanded if you decide to have a placement in a non-academic, in a private institution, and you can do secondments, meaning you can have research stays anywhere in the world during the duration of the project. So I haven't mentioned it, but MSCA is actually the most popular scheme under Horizon Europe. It was also under Horizon 2020 with sometimes over 10,000 applications per call and over 1,000 projects that are funded. And as many of you are mainly joining from outside of Europe, we thought it was a good idea to show you how successful researchers from nationals from these countries, North America, the region of the Latin America and Caribbean, Africa, India, ASEAN, China, South Korea, Japan, Australia, New Zealand. This is the number of people from this country who have been funded with individual and postdoctoral fellowships under Horizon Europe. So Therefore, the idea of today's webinar is not to explain the eligibility. You have many information at your disposal. Not only my colleagues in ASEAN, Australia, India, China, Korea, Japan, and also LAC very recently, and Africa is on the way. They are doing regular postdoctoral fellowship webinars. You also have information provided, official information by the Research Executive Agency, and obviously you also have the support and the documents that are very valuable from the national contact points. What we're trying to do today is to allow you to meet your possible host institutions in Europe. Therefore, 12 countries with over 50 potential host institutions. We will guide you and we will show you the different opportunities in Spain, Austria, Slovakia, Latvia, France, Romania, the Netherlands, Turkey, Belgium, Czechia, Malta, and Croatia. And very quickly, before giving the floor to Ahmed, my colleague from Africa, who will introduce the first countries, please note that some housekeeping rules. We will be able to answer your questions in the Q&A section dedicated to that. If you have any specific question for a country, for an institution, please indicate so, because we might have many interests, but we need to know who you are directing that question to. And of course, we will provide all this information, the presentations, and the videos are going to be recorded and uploaded in our YouTube channels. Having said this, with this very short introduction, let me give the floor to Ahmed for him to introduce the first three countries. Thank you, Ahmed. The floor is yours.